The latest USDA progress report indicates 2% of the U.S. soybean crop has been planted. For Nebraska, farmers have planted 1% of their soybean crop, just 2% below as of last year. Although weather conditions have not been ideal for early soybean planting, survey data from both irrigated and non-irrigated soybean fields discovered the planting date to be the most stable management factor for enhancing soybean yield. We talked with UNL Emeritus Professor of Agronomy and Horticulture, Jim Specht, on Wednesday to learn why farmers should consider planting their soybean crop sooner.
Well, in research that we did in Nebraska, we found that there was about a quarter bushel to 5/8 of a bushel decline in yield for every day after May 1 you don't have soybeans in the ground.
According to Jim's recent CropWatch article titled Amplifying Positive Impacts of Early Soybean Planting, one of the advantages of early soybean planting in Nebraska is allowing your crop to have access to early spring radiation. If soybean planting is delayed beyond April 30th, the crop lacks this access of radiation.
Well, the research that we've done in Nebraska shows this particular chart of early May, mid-May, late May, and mid-June, how long it took the plants to go from planting date to what we call harvest maturity, which is R8. And you can see in this chart here that you're running short in the of days to grow in the last planting date. Plus, you're not taking advantage of the light that's available early in the season. When you plant on May 1, you get all that daylight before the summer solstice increases, so when you're using it.
Access to early spring radiation is important. But another factor that helps increase yield production is looking at specific variety performance for varieties adapted for your area rather than selecting a specific maturity group.
Well, in most areas in the state, farmers would look at the range of maturity groups they can use for adaptation. And planting early gives you a little bit more lee room at the beginning, at the end, to have a little longer maturity group. But within the range of varieties you grow, you should probably choose the one that has the best performance over time in a trial near you.
We further asked Jim if there was a difference between irrigated and non-irrigated environments when considering maturity groups.
Yes, there were. In fact, in a survey that we did with soybean producers across the state, the irrigated producers tended to use maturity groups that were 0.2 units earlier compared to the rain-fed producers. So we think that has something to do with rain-fed areas suffering drought more frequently and hastening their maturity.
In addition to performance and maturity, it is also important to focus on proven yield performance in your region.
Yield is important for obvious reasons. And you should really, when you choose your varieties within your range of maturity groups, choose the one that has the best yield performance. And you can do some of these tests on your own farm to find that out.
Although Jim recommends growers plant soybeans early, there are some factors that can delay the planting date.
Well, like this year, it's been cold and wet, so farmers have delayed their corn planting, which for farmers that only have one planter, this delays their soybean planting too. But we would urge people to try as early as they can to get their soybeans in, because it does make a difference in yield and adds up. A half bushel a day, it adds up.
For growers who would like to compare their results based on maturity group differences with early planting dates in both irrigated and non-irrigated land, Jim recommends they use the Nebraska On-Farm Research protocols.
Yes, there's a Nebraska On-Farm website that's directed by Laura Thompson and Jenny Reese at York has offered a protocol that producers can use to use their on-farm test sites and help with the University Extension group to decide whether an early or a later maturity group will work for them in early planting scenarios.